Hello and welcome to Tonic Studios. My name's Alison and today I'm going to show you how to make the Indulgent Index Box. Right, so what have we got? This is how your die set and your instructions are going to come to you. Let me just move these out of the way and I can bring it all forward. So everything you're going to need to cut is on the top. So let's run through them. So we have one outer side and the back. So that's that cut. We have one roof, and that's the one that's got the fold in the centre. There we are. We've got one index card. We have two base and fronts. So these are the ones with the rectangle edges. Then we have two with curved edges. These are going to be your inner sleeves. And then we need two hinges, which I've cut. And we need two lid sides. So that's your basic cuts you're going to need to make the box. So I'm just going to move that out of the way and then we'll show you how to make it. So the first bit I'm going to take is my back panel and my sides. So give these a little fold along the crease lines. There we are. You can bring in your bone folder if you have one, or your paper creaser. Over here. Gives you a nice, much crisper fold if you use a folder. So there we are. We have lovely angles then. I'm going to do the lid as well, and I'm going to do the base and the front. So I'm just going to fold all these tabs. It'll all become apparent. There we go. It's a lovely little box for putting little gifts in, for recipe cards. You could be handing down recipes to another member of the family, which I think is a lovely idea, because family recipes get lost. Or you could be planning something and you could be going month by month what you have to do. You can put that inside the box. Right, let's make a start here. So I'm going to open out my back and my sides, and we're going to stick the base panel, and then we're going to do the same for the front panel. So let's get a bit of glue. The reason I'm using a wet glue is because it gives longevity to my project, and there's no chance of the tape drying out and the project falling apart. Because I think if you're giving a lovely gift, you want it to last. So just press down very gently. Wipe away any glue that you may have put on in excess. So we're going to do the same then with the next piece. There we are, a little bit more glue. It's not the usual way we build boxes, but it works very, very well. There we go. I'm lining up the fold lines on the sides so that everything is at rectangles with each other. Or right angles rather, not rectangles. So there's my tab under there. So that's the front of my box. So when we bring this around, we can glue the side panel and the front panel. So if I show you that, you can see that there, and then we do the same with the other side. So let's mosey on. What ideas have you got for these boxes? They do hold some nice chocolate bars, I gotta say that.
We were saying earlier about having like baby's first year. So for each month you could have like a photograph on the index card and then some notes about milestones that they hit during that month maybe.
Oh, what a lovely idea.
Be a nice little gift.
What a lovely idea, because you soon forget. You know, you start off with all good intentions that you're going to fill in these baby books. And then by about 6 months, they've gone by the wayside and you've forgotten to fill in things. I remember keeping a chart of the height, my son's height, because they reckon that whatever height you are at 2, you double that when you're an adult.
Oh, okay.
I didn't grow very much. My son was 3 foot at 2 and he's just under 6 foot. He's about 5'10 and a half, 5'11. So it wasn't far out. So I'm gluing the other side now. And this is the start. You can see the shaping coming of your box now. Let me just press that tab inside. I'm trying to glue them all together and it's not working. Take your time. Have a little Bob Ross moment. There we go. So there's the shape of the box, which is, it's a really pretty box. These could be lined up and just filled with all your little crystal drops would fit in there. And they could be all lined up on your shelf, but kept in families. Could keep all your pinks in one, your greens in another, your reds in another, or maybe you've got too much for that, but I'm saying nothing.
I was going to say, could you glue 2 of those back to back and make like a little caddy?
You could. The other thing you could do is, without putting the lid on, well, I suppose you could put the lid on and make square cards. What about a little thank you card set? Or even a small birthday card set that you just give a friend who doesn't make cards but love handmade cards. And that would be a nice little kit just to give them as a thank you maybe for something they've done for you. Right, I've whittled enough now. Let's move on, is that? My next bit I'm going to pop one of the hinges on. So this is my hinge and I'm going to fold it, make sure I'm folding it the right way. There we go, fold along the centre. Again, give it a good crease. Use your paper folder. This is going to sit on the front. So you're going to sit this just there. And that is going to hold your lid and the flap for the top. So I'm going to pop this in place first. A little bit of glue just up to the fold line, don't go past the fold line. And then we'll do the same the other side then. There we go. That fits in perfectly. Before I put the lid on, I'm going to pop the sides of the lid in place. So put that to one side. So we've got 2 sides, and again we've got lovely big tabs for gluing. I love a nice big tab on the side. Give your tabs a fold and a crease. There we go. The other thing you could do, thinking down the baby line, is baby's first Christmas.
That'd be lovely.
All the photos with all the members of the family, because they're all going to want to hold the baby on the first Christmas. Nobody wants to miss out, do they? There we are. So these are going to fit just in the corner there. So that gives you another nice little shape. Pop some glue on your tab. There we go. Remember, less is more with glue as well. We think we need loads, but sometimes it just oozes out and we just make a mess. But if you've got less glue, it wets the paper less and the glue part grabs more. So glue the other side. This reminds me of a little manger, going back to Christmas. You just need a base on this. You could have a nativity set for your window. And we're going to do exactly the same on the other side. So you can see it's not a long box to put together. Once you've cut all your pieces, you're away. There we are. I'm gluing right up to the fold line. Again, keeping everything straight.
Need to give you a quick warning again.
Am I? Oops. There we go. There we are. So there's our lid. So the first thing we're going to do is glue to the tab. Let me hold it like that so you can see the shape. So the shape fits like that. But we're also going to pop another hinge along the back line here. And that's so that you've got no gaps on the box, that everything fits nicely. So let me move these and then you can see what I'm doing. So again, fold your tab. And I'm going to pop that along the back there. And it just gives you an extra tab. There we are. A little bit of glue again. And as always, I'm using Novo Deluxe adhesive because it's got a quicker grab. I don't get no paper wrinkling with it. And it's all round good glue. There we go. So this now is going to attach to the front. So glue the other side of the tab. The bit I've got showing inside is the front of the cardstock as well. So you've got the nice side on show and the glue is going on the back. So pop that in place. You need to pop your hands inside just to give it a pinch. Hold that for a second. There we are. And then I can show you how our box is coming together. So you've got that pretty curve on the side and then you've got the little tab on the back. So it is a lovely shaped box. Give that a little bit more time to glue than I have. I'm always a bit impatient. Okay, so now we're going to pop, let me pinch that again, there we go. We're going to line the box now. So we've got the two side panels and they are going to sit on the inside. So your tab goes to the back of your box, and again I like to see the nice side in my box. I want to see the outer side of your paper. There we are. Have I folded that correct? Yes. Yes, I think I have. So give those a crease. Fold the top and the bottom. There we are. Repeat on the other side. And these are the ones with the curves on the top and the bottom. The straight edges are what you put for your base and your front, and the curved ones are for your liner inside. This could be a pretty paper. It could be some paper that you've Novo'd with something to make it really different, something exclusive to your box. So I've got a little bit of glue on the back, the base, and the side panel. There we go. A little bit more down there. So your straight edge is towards the lid. Slide that in and give it a press. I'm just going to press inside. Don't put glue all over the sides like I've just done. Make sure you don't put it on that top part, because that is not what you want to do. This is a case of do as I say, not as I do. So this time, this is how you do it. Put your glue on the inside. There we are. So I've just glued the inside panel there. I am going to put glue on the side tab and the bottom, and then I'm not going to have glue anywhere that I don't want it. So slide your panel in, press against the bottom and also the back. There we are. I'm going to get my bone folder in there. So this is our box coming together nicely. It's all lined. The only bit we've got to line now is the back panel. So by lining your box, you're giving it more strength. It's going to be a little bit more sturdy. So we'll pop this one in now. You've got 2 squares in this box. One is slightly smaller than the other. Let me have a little look. There's one here, but the other one has the crease. So the larger one has got the crease in it, which is your front. So you need this one without the crease. And that will also cut your inserts for your box as well. So pop that in. So it covers your tabs. And it also lines the inside of your box. I know it's all cream and maybe I should have cut a different colour. But that, tuck the insides in, that is your box completed. Now the only bit is the decoration. So we have some panels. So I've done a little bit of colouring. Got the marker pens out and did some colouring. So you're going to need 5 of the pattern. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll glue these on first. There we are. Keep them nice and central so you've got the same border going all the way around. It's also got a lovely little dotted pattern on one of them, and you can put some faux stitching on there. So this one then, you can pop there. One on the lid. There we go. So I'm just looking all the way around to make sure it's nice and even. And then we've got 2 for the back panel. But you've got a trellis pattern, you've got some tiny flowers. There's a couple of patterns here you can choose. There we are, pop that one there. And the next one. Make sure you've got glue down the edges because there's nothing worse than your layers starting to peel. There we go. So now we're going to move on to the side panels. So you've got 2 side panels, you've got a left and a right. So just check which one you've got. Obviously the right one is going to run with the shape of your box. There we are. Got one for the other side. There we go. Just wipe off that little excess glue. And then we've got 2 little panels then that go on the top. And again, you have a right and a left for these. Last one. There we are. So there's my box, all decorated. What's your next bit now? You need to decide how you want to close your box. So we've got two different types of closures. You can either have a little strap that wraps around your box, or you can have a clasp on the top. So to make the clasp, let me bring these two in. Where's my dies? So you've got these two dies. They are exactly the same shape. The ends are the same shape, but one is a little bit longer. And the reason being is because the one that's longer is for the top, and you're going to put a little fold. You've got two little folds on the sides. Just bend those in the shape of a handle. There we go. So there is your handle. Now that size fits exactly onto there. So you've got a nice sturdy handle. So a little bit of glue on each end. There we go. So give that a little bit of a press. I'm going to leave this a second just to dry, because it's on pearl card. It's a little bit slippery, so I'm going to give it a second to dry. I've also got, there's a little patterned layer. If I bring this in, it's a lovely deboss. If you can see that on my hand, you've got a lovely deboss pattern that will give you a nice flower shape. If you're thinking I'm not getting the result I want from a deboss die, have a look at using a mirror card, satin card, or a pearl card, because you'll have a more defined effect. So this will sit right on the top, just for a little bit of decorative detail. And again, I'm gluing onto pearl card, so it is a little bit slippery. So I'm going to hold that for a sec. If you decide you don't want to put the clasp, you can still put the handle on the top. So we'll do that anyway. We're going to pop that there, and we're going to try and get it central. So I'm looking at both the flowers. Where's my central point? And I think it's about there. When we glue it, can you see there's two lines just in the centre? You want to leave that central point open if you're going to use the clasp on the top. You don't need any glue there. So just be really careful how you glue it. So I'm looking at the edge of my box. It's quite central, and that is where I'm happy to glue. Then we have a little tongue. Now this is what will fit underneath where we didn't glue, and then it'll bend. There's a couple of bends on here, but you decide how long you want this to be. So I'm bending it on the first of these fold lines. And then I can have a nice long tongue that will hold my box. So the only bit I'm going to glue is the end bit there. So pop it back into place. Make sure you're quite central. So I'm looking at the top of my decoration, and I'm lining this up along the side. So if I bring that in, hopefully you can see it. I'm pretty central here. It's the centre of my flower, and that is where my tab is coming in. And that is your one closure. If you decided that wasn't the closure that you wanted, let me pop these back, and you wanted something a little bit more sturdy, pop those back in there. then you can also do a belly band that'll go around it. So there's a little bit of a printing error in here. It says wrap strap. It says 2 you're going to need, but you are actually going to need 4. So what I would do is change this in your instructions, and you're going to know then the next time you make it. So you're going to cut your 4 straps, fold your tab on all of them. And then you can go in then and fold your central point, because you're going to need to do it on all of them anyway. There we go. Right, so we're going to join these 4 together. So I'm just gluing along the tab, pop the next one in place, wipe off your excess glue.
It's funny watching you do this, Al. So you look, you make sure you're not cutting, you start gluing and you pull it straight back to you.
Oh, do I? Sorry.
We need to move the table, I think.
I think we do as well. So glue these so you've got a long train.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo. There we go. So there's the last one. You can decorate this with panels as well if you want to, or you can leave it plain. So we do have some decorative panels that we can pop on. There's a plain one. So you choose, you could do every other, you can do all of them, entirely up to you. So this belly band then is, if you wanted it to be a removable band that wrapped through the handle, I would suggest you make it a little bit longer and you add, oh, I've added 4, me only needed 3. Look at me, I'm telling you, fibs. 3 you need, not 4. But with the 4th, I could chop this bit off. Let's get a scissors. I knew I'd cut 4 for a reason. Cut the end off, and you could pop a magnet behind that one. And that would hold in place, and you could remove then the band. If you didn't want to do that, that you just wanted a band that would secure around the box, I would say I would glue on this, but you would glue the tab obviously. So a little bit of glue. And we'll pop them together.
Forward a bit.
Pop them together there. And then there we go. So there's the shape of your box. So you can either pop this that way and it will hold in place, or you can go that way and you could pop one each side of the handle if you wanted to. So you could have 2, or you can have the one going right the way through the centre of the handle. And that is your little Indulgence Index Box. Thank you for joining me. Happy crafting.